So welcome back, you guys. So we're gonna start out tonight's video with just a really quick thing that me and Dad were watching Fast Things live from 8 days ago. Go check it out. Fast Thing 89. Great live. But Rich says something in this.
Pay attention in this video.
Listen to what Rich says.
Section 8 housing.
He catches himself.
No, I'm not going to buy it back from the bank. The problem with that...
Did you hear
Boom.
that? I'm not going to buy it back. Not the bank don't own it, not this, that, and the other. He lets it go. He lets that statement go and talks about how he's not going to buy it back from the bank because of the way the mortgage is. And that's not how that a mortgage like that works anyway. The rate don't change every month. That's not how... Anyway, we're not going to even get into that. He don't correct it. Watch.
Listen.
We'll let it go on. Somebody makes a comment about that, and he's like, the bank don't own it.
Section 8 housing.
Let's redo it. Ready?
No, I'm not going to buy it back from the bank. The problem with that house was because the mortgage was a variable. It wasn't a fixed rate. And if you
Because you're a moron. You could have refinanced it how many different times and had a fixed rate?
Screwed up.
You know shit about shit.
Screwed up.
I've refinanced my houses, both of my first one and this one, multiple times. No problems.
I see a comment comes up.
Jeff, do me a favor. Put that in the the other side. That I
They
talked
call
to
him
you.
out on what he just said, and then he corrects himself. Watch.
Okay. $72K is more than what I have, Jeff. I don't have that.
Yeah, see, you didn't get shit. Fucking lying motherfucker.
No, the bank doesn't own my house. The guy bought the house.
See? He don't even realize what he does. He is so stupid and inbred and fucking just some utter moron. This is not the only time he said shit like that. You know what I mean? He talks about the bank taking everything from me. And he sat in his car one night after he's been crying his little bitch ass eyes out. I mean, he is a moron, dude. Listen to how he talks. I'm not going to buy it back to the bank because if you bought it back from the bank with a new lender, it would be a different mortgage company. You're so stupid, Rich. You sound so ignorant. But thanks again for being a moron and validating.
Hey, Rich, how you like them subs dropping off, Bubba?
Right. I mean, and now the guy's going to sell the car for him. No, bitch, you don't own that car no more. The minute the sheriffs lock that property down, everything on that property belongs to the mortgage company, the lender, or whoever bought the property.
I mean, 7 days, Rich. Have you gotten off the property yet?
That's been more than 7 fucking days. What do you mean?
7 days since he posted the video talking about he's going to get it out of there, like, tomorrow.
I mean...
But how do you like them comments, of them other big YouTubers asking you, hey, did you get out of there? Did you get out of there?
No, he can't. He would have to steal it out of there. If he takes that car, it would be theft.
All right.
Now, Fast Thing says in this video, I never heard it, but Fast Thing says he talks about how the guy that bought the property is going to sell the car for him now, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I mean, you're
Now he
just
only
a
got 70
liar.
grand.
He didn't get 70 grand. He said he don't have 72 grand. That ain't what he got. That's what he said.
So, I highly suggest you guys go check out Fast Thing 89.
He's a cool dude,
Yep,
man.
right there. Check out his channel. Give him some love.
We haven't got to talk in a little while. I've been crashing out early, and usually you don't call till late. I've been crashed out.
So, let's mosey on.
Hello, folks. It's been a while since I've been on here,
We'll have some late nights here soon.
but I just want to get on
farmer's
somebody's
truck in the
nerves
garage to
today.
get it painted.
Okay, so
It's going to be a crunch to get it done. Well, I'll be up late. I'll be out there all night getting it painted.
So, Rich is still crashing out at the fucking Cockroach Hotel.
I'll guarantee if you called this hotel up and said, look, I'm homeless. I just got evicted in New Jersey. Do you have, would you happen to know of any charities that would help put me up in your hotel or put me up in a hotel? I'll bet you they have a list of charities that put people up in a hotel.
So, Rich puts out these videos, dude, his subs drop off.
It's been a while since I've been on here, but I want to get on somebody's nerves today. Okay, so
Yeah, you should see
Hey,
you do that.
Rich, I'm about to get on your nerves, dude. Me and Dad are about to do a video tomorrow or the next day on how to fuck up your life when you're 55. But that's besides the point. What'd you do for fucking Thanksgiving? Did you go out to your family's house? Did you and Barry have a slumber party?
No, him and one of them crackos sat in that room smoking up all his fucking social security check.
Because your own sisters don't want to do it.
I think that's what happens. When Rich disappears, I think he goes on a bender. Because he looks like a typical crackhead, dude. If you watch any of the cop shows, like cops and shit, you always see dudes like Rich in the bad neighborhood getting pulled over busted with crack. They look just like him. They talk just like him. Rich disappears for 5 or 7 days, and he goes on a bender. Is what it is.
So I'm on this. There's a show called Monk.
My opinion, not facts. It's my opinion of Rich.
There's a show called Monk, you guys, that I've been watching.
Dude, if you
I've
do that-
always liked the show,
if
but
you
I'm
do
actually.
that, you'll have Rich mad because Rich can't take it.
I'm always gonna. I've always liked it.
job that bothers this dude.
I've always liked it. But there's a guy named The Well. Can't remember his first name, but The Well, dude. I am going to edit this
And he really
video.
does look like Rich. I mean,
I'm gonna edit one of Jabba's videos, dude, with just Jabba's words with this dude talking.
Rich and you're kind of Rich 220 in 6 months.
Does a
You're putting
cameo.
in rod bearings.
His voice
make
even
sure
sounds
you
like-
use a ton of white lithium.
You
grease.
did. You did.
And when you're putting the heads back on, make sure you're, smearing that stuff on around the
No,
border
you
of
just
the
put the
heads.
head gaskets on the head and then try to sit on the engine.
Once you get done
Yeah.
sanding out the bores, or not the bores, the cylinder walls with 600 grit sandpaper,
Hell yeah.
make sure you do a crosshatch sanding. Okay? So
Didn't
these are
Rich
the
at one point
proper
say
ways
that's what
of
he's gonna
doing a car, okay? That's how you're supposed to rebuild it. You know how you have the head gasket that goes on the engine block? You see the
No, you put it on the head.
residual of an old
Remember?
head gasket on there? Well, you want to know how you get that off? You get that off with a wire wheel.
Yeah, why
At
not?
high
I use a wire wheel all the time to
RPMs.
remove gaskets.
That's how you get that off.
Now, if it's aluminum block, I probably wouldn't.
And you don't stop.
But I use a
until it's
wire wheel
off.
all the time to remove head gaskets. Ain't never had a problem. Not on an
You know how
engine
you
that's
get
already
all that
together, though.
sludge
It would be
out
on a
of the
bare
engine?
block because it throws
You don't
wires
use
everywhere
diesel.
and shit. So you don't want to do it on
Use,
a bare block that you're getting ready to wash out and shit.
What is it? Kerosene. There you go. Or you
Kerosene
use
won't hurt that
gasoline.
either.
And don't forget to light a match.
Hell, there's a YouTuber
Okay.
that uses gasoline for everything.
These
I
people
don't
want
recommend
a
it, but-
video of how the wrong and right way of doing things. Well, I'm going to tell you all the right way of doing it now. This is the kind of common sense these people have. Okay?
Like,
My way doesn't
like
work
being
for them,
homeless
so
and
maybe
spending
this will.
$2,000 on some fake bling.
Okay?
It's common
Let's see,
sense, right? Good judgment.
You know how you rebuild a carburetor? You don't put it in a clean sink. You don't use a horse.
You don't even have a
brush in
clean
order
sink
to
no
clean
more.
it
That
out.
shit's still on the front porch. Along with your
Dip
cherry
it
picker.
in
Your blast down
gasoline.
there.
You pull it out and you put it on a
Your
flat
air
surface,
compressor.
probably like a piece of slate or something. Light a match to it. Now you know how you get your points to make the connection?
You don't let Rich
The
220
sparks.
fuck with them. That's what you do.
Well, you don't even bother adjusting it. You just put some damn gasoline in there on the tip and then turn the ignition. That'll work every time.
Keep in mind, folks, Rich is talking from experience
let's
here with
see
all
what
this
else,
shit.
alright.
These are mistakes he's made in the past. Why none of the shit runs.
So I want to say something, you guys, real quick. Sorry, I had to step out. My kid's sick. so-
Shocker, shocker, shocker.
Yeah, I know, right? Come with excuses like Barry, I know. But anyways, Rich, like, how long did it take you to come up with these?
Did you have to write little notes down for 7 days? And then fucking, cause you've been MIA for a little while, buddy. It took him a week.
And how you get the
Most of the shit he's
oil
done,
pan
though.
to stop
Lithium.
leaking oil.
Hold on. Don't you-
I'm gonna tell you how you do it. You change the gasket 4 fucking times. That's how you do it.
You know you do cylinder heads on a car, you guys? You put the fucking head gasket on the head and then try to lean over a fender.
When you're fucking 5, the car's taller than you.
You don't put it on the right way. You turn it upside down.
I'll give you this
put it on
much.
the
You
outside.
get it. You get it. E for effort there, Rich. I mean, at least you make an effort. Beamer, he just talks.
The exhaust manifold, you know what you use in order to get
brags.
that on there? You don't use any kind of gasket sealing or anything like that.
On the
What
exhaust
you actually
manifold.
use,
You're not supposed to use
You're right.
any kind
I mean,
of cylinder.
again, you're saying something right. I mean, it's like the kerosene. You can use kerosene. You can use a wire wheel to clean a head gasket off of an engine. That's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
You're not supposed to
you're
use.
right. You can do all that.
You're not-
You're saying some things that's right.
You're
Why
not.
didn't you use any of this right shit when you was building your car? Maybe it'd run.
You're not supposed to use any fucking gasket cylinder, you guys, on fucking exhaust manifolds.
Right. I mean,
is
That's what I mean. You try to do these videos, but your fucking stupidity comes out.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. You don't
That
put
works
you don't
every
put
time.
silicone on. You're right.
same with your head gaskets when you put them on. Use plastic model glue. That work for you just great.
Hey, Rich, you always put them together. Do you got any?
Hell no, he's too busy snipping that shit. He probably got some little crackers back in there and some glue in it. He's like, ooh, I can't breathe because I'm high on glue.
Even your intake manifold, man, that'll work too.
Well, boy, you better try that on your 57.
Maybe it'll seal all that smoke come out around the intake. You know, you fake fucking idiot.
With that stuff as well as your headliner. You know, don't wait for it to
Oh, this is glorious.
heat up and
This is glorious.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget to put your door panels on
Wow.
with that stuff as well as your headliner. You know, don't wait for it to heat up and tighten up a little bit before you tuck it in. Just have everybody make fun of it because it's loose. And
Rich, I used to do headliners
it's
for a
not tight
living,
enough.
bud. I put in one stitch, helped. I didn't do it on my own. I helped put in one stitch headliner in my life. And buddy, it was nothing like yours when it was done.
Yours
It was
hangs
for-
way too
it was
low.
and I'll tell you the name of the shop. You guys can Google it. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. It was Miles Motors, man. Terre Haute had Miles Motors and Historic Motors. Historic Motors just went out and they do headliners,
Because
convertible
you know
tops. I used to
It
do
actually
headliners.
has to, you know,
Help do it.
contrast. You know, it has to pull itself together before you
The
can.
ones that go on a board,
No.
I've done them 100 times.
Listen to what Rich says, dude. His stupidity shows right here.
It's not tightened up because you know that it actually has to, you know, contrast. You know, it has to pull
Contract?
itself together before you can actually tuck it up in the areas where
You
it
are
needs to be
so
tucked in.
stupid.
Because if you don't, this is what happens.
Stupid.
Okay, that's what happens to you. Okay,
And it turns out looking like yours,
same
right?
with the door panels or the seats.
Was that your fingers or your pecker? I'm just curious.
I mean, look, his fingers ain't. His
But
nose
you
is
know,
longer than his fingers.
Anytime you
His
use a black
chin
vinyl,
is longer than his fingers.
Always make sure it expands first, then it shrinks later before you put it back in.
Keep
What
on
are you
expanding
talking
and
about, dude?
shrinking. You're a
I have
moron.
watched all kinds of car shows, dude. I've watched Gas Monkey and then put in
You're so
headliners.
stupid.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Let's say you're gonna do a convertible top. You don't just take the top out of the box and put it on your car. You would take it out, and if it's a warm day, you would set it out on top of the car, let it sit out for a day or so, you know, in something warm.
Like a carpet kit.
Like a carpet kit for a car or anything like that. You would let it set out
It's different
it
than
can
headliner.
take a form. And even headliner material, if you're going to make it like if you got one that was stitched, not foam that glues on with foam backing. I've done a ton of them. Now, like I said, I'm only doing one that takes bows, a stitched headliner. And BK
So
used
Rich's should be
BK
down
made
there.
all his own shit, seat covers, all that shit. You take it out and you would lay it on top of the car, face down. You make sure the car's clean, lay it face down on top of the car, and let it set when you're done sewing it. Let it sit there and take shape for a little bit. And then you put the bows in it, and you start in the middle, and you work your way to the ends.
And let everybody make fun of all the sagging pieces and everything else, because you know why? That means that you made it long enough so that way there's excess left over.
Okay,
Excess
hold on,
left
hold on, Rich.
over.
I do have a question for that. Okay, let's say that's what you did. How was you going to get the excess out between bows? It's stitched. Bows run through a pocket. How are you going to get the excess out between bows, brother?
I didn't think about that.
You're an idiot, Rich. I love
That's why
this
you
shit.
can tuck it in further than anybody else.
What are
can
you
put their
tucking it
headliner in.
into? Dumbass.
Are you talking about some Silence of the Lambs shit? You gonna tuck your pecker between your legs and go, I'd fuck me.
I'm Java
We don't
220,
want
Java the
to
Hutt.
give them too much information now, do we?
Look at that bling on
They
his
know
neck.
too much as it is already.
LL Cool J called and said, give me his fucking chain back, Rich.
You know, for your old muscle car. Now you're supposed to put them on. You got the cap. Well,
Hey, Rich,
Look
just
at
so
the
you
cat
know,
on.
man, it's turning your neck a little
Just
green
take
right
the
there.
wheel.
I mean,
you have those Corvette rims.
you don't want to stop that? Some clear
That's the
fingernail
old-
polish, man. You put clear fingernail polish on fake jewelry to keep your shit from turning your neck green.
So you ready for this?
Now, do we?
Some more misleading information.
They may know too much as it is already. And you know how you have those Corvette rims?
He cracks
Those
me
rims
up.
could have came on Camaros, Chevelles, Corvettes, fucking,
Yeah,
you name it.
I got a set for a truck. I got a set for a car. I got another set, I think, now. I mean, they came on Camaro. Yeah, they was 14s at that, wasn't they? I mean-
14s.
Come on now, Rich. I mean, them could have come on
On a
anything.
Nova?
Yeah, I mean, you were out of your mind. There's Rally was, period. If they wasn't white, they probably wasn't on the vet.
Your old muscle car.
Delbert.
Now you're supposed to put them on. You got the cap. Well, you don't put the cap on. What you do is you take the wheel and turn it around the
No,
other way.
Rich. What you do is
You put
you
it on.
take some Rally
Don't
can
forget-
paint and you spend about $100 on it, right?
Painting them blue.
And you put 37 coats of blue paint on that rim. That way, when you're out and about in Jersey where it's real dangerous and shit, and maybe you get a little too close to a bad neighborhood, they're bulletproof, dude. Your tires never go flat. They can't get shot out.
No, you're missing it. That's
You're
not,
Teflon coated,
that's
bitch.
not
You
why
ain't
you
taking-
do it. You do it so you can have powder-coated rims.
Right. Poorly powder coated.
To put your
You cooked the powder coated in the microwave, didn't you? What do I microwave?
Tighten them that way. Don't worry about the roundness
Baked
part.
it on, whatever.
That just means it's been stripped out. And when you
Kind of
when
like
you're
your
doing brick
asshole right
lines
now
and
from
stuff
the
like
bank
that,
and everybody else.
just make sure
Stripped
they're
out?
halfway threaded into the blocks that they're supposed to go into, and then make sure you have plenty.
Hang
of
on,
coil.
what?
And when you're doing your brick lines and stuff like that, just make sure they're halfway threaded into the blocks that they're supposed to go into,
Blocks.
and then make sure you have plenty of coil
You talking about the bursting blocks like on rear ends and on your front of your...
too, so that way you have extra in case you have any screw-ups there.
Well, Rich,
So that
I
way you can
mean,
use them
you're
right
kind
away.
of saying something true there. Come out of your master
Hey.
cylinder, you're supposed to have some coils.
Hey,
buddy.
you know what you do?
Do you know what them coils are for, Rich? I bet you don't. I'll give you a chance to, before I say what they're for, I'll give you a chance to make a comment and show people if you know what them coils are for off that brake line, off your booster.
Hey.
When they come off your master cylinder, what's them coils for?
Hey.
What's the purpose of that? I know, do you?
No, you know what you do? If you guys want to be successful on YouTube, you know what steps of Rich you should follow. You should take number 9 wire and find you a rusted out 57 Chevy that the fender's falling off of. You take your number 9 wire, you wrap it around the rusted out bolt hole, you run it over to the frame, run it through a body mount. Then, that's bad enough, but then you want to get the gloriousness. You want to fucking take a pair of fucking wire cutters, snip a gas line right next to a hot exhaust, and you want to...
He didn't snip that shit. He broke that shit.
Oh yeah,
He
you
manhandled
want
that
to
shit.
break it so that way all the jagged edges, and then you want
Right.
to shove your rubber hose on it right next to your hot exhaust.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what you do.
You want to make sure the brake line is nice and jagged, dude. So as you're running this car down the road, it's jiggling around like this, and it's cutting through that brake line.
You know
every
why
time
Rich
move,
did
or
that, Dad?
Rubber line.
You know why Rich did that? So that way, when it fucking
You
finally,
can't do anything
when it
else.
finally caught fire, dude, he could sit outside the car playing YouTube and playing the fucking
You
song.
can finally stop using matches to light your cigarette, bud. You got a 57 Chevy cigarette lighter. You're popular now.
No, he did it so that way he could, when it fucking burst into fucking flames on the side of the road, he could get on YouTube, press the play button, make a short with a car in smoke, and say, "Up in
Look at
smoke,
them bedroom
that's where my
That's probably
money
the-
goes."
That's probably the. Hey, Rich, you should use this picture on your Instagram or your dating apps, dude, because this is the best picture I've ever seen of you, man. You don't look like you fucking have been smoking crack in a fucking one-room fucking abandoned house for 20 years in this picture.
Material.
Oh, there it is again.
Okay.
Let's face it back.
Always remember to put your
To do the
timing
opposite
gears,
of what Rich 220 says.
especially the bottom one, in the wrong tooth.
In life,
Don't put it in the right
and on the
tooth.
clock.
There's 3 teeth.
Or you'll be
for the
55
timing
years old,
gear.
homeless.
3 teeth.
Lost everything, living in a crack hotel.
How-
that the government's paying for.
You talking about where your cotter key, where your fucking shear key is? You know,
Right, I
where
mean,
the
what-
settings.
There's tons of teeth. You can put it on any teeth you want. The chain can go on any tooth you want to put it on, Rich, as long as the dots line up.
Okay? There's one that you'll think is perfect that actually just goes right in. Don't use that one. Use the one that doesn't.
I don't know
See,
how.
I don't
Hang
understand
on.
what you're saying.
Hang on. I don't know how many of y'all, but I can show you guys a timing chain that's got 3 of those for retarding, advancing.
Oh, I can show you.
and
There's some
middle.
that have 4 or 5 marks on them. I mean,
So like his statement here is asinine.
he was trying to be funny, but I mean, you're not even being trying to. You're not even being funny
And
because
turn the
they're
gear backwards.
going anywhere.
And then put it on. Okay? Same with the top. Well, actually, no, you can leave the top one in one way. Oh, and here's the thing. When you're lining up the dots, make sure the top gear is at 12 o'clock, and make sure your bottom gear is at 6 o'clock. Yeah. Then put your chain on. Okay?
Does that chain ever get caught in between the bolts?
Is that why your 57 is still parked, not running in
Right,
your
I mean-
foreclosed house?
Right. Let's stop. It's not Rich's. We're not going to refer to it as Rich's 57 anymore. It's no longer. It's the bank's 57 or the new owner's
It's
57.
PHC's.
Right,
All right, we'll be
I
right
mean,
back, you guys.
Rich don't own a 57.
All right, you guys. Sorry about that. Let's get it more into this.
Oh, and let's see. When you're pulling your pistons out, don't take a drill and tap into the top of the piston top that's separated from the apron to pull it out. Still pull it out and fight with it from the bottom.
What
Huh?
the
Make
hell?
it harder
Why
on
would you
yourself.
do
That's the
that?
way you're supposed to do things.
Why wouldn't you just roll the engine over to the
Don't
top,
make it
pushes
easy.
up,
Don't
and
do
pull it
that.
out? What the fuck are you talking about?
People
You
won't
probably did do
understand
that.
when you're doing things. Like when you're doing your valves and stuff like that.
You
know,
did your
you wanna
valves?
Make sure you lap your valves. You know what you lap your valves with? A grinding wheel. Okay?
Hell yeah. Why not?
Make sure you do it
How would
really
you know anything
good,
about
too.
lapping valves? You
Don't
didn't do
bother
none.
to look at
You
it.
never lapped a valve in your life.
Well, use a little bit of sandpaper, like, 400, 600 grit. Just use a grinding wheel. That'll take all the burrs.
Now we know why the car don't run, why it don't have no compression, because the valve won't seal. He done took a grinding wheel to his shit.
400, 600 grit, huh? Wow.
It's not gonna hurt your. It's not gonna hurt your valve seats, guys. To run over them with 400 grit sandpaper, just so you know. I
So
mean,
that's the best way to go.
now if you maybe if you sit there for 6 hours taking away metal, but if you're trying to clean it up, it's not gonna hurt. That's
Don't worry
fucking
about the
iron.
little tiny corners, where you're supposed to put extra
I
stuff.
don't use a grinding wheel.
Use as little as possible. So you have a massive, massive leak. Okay?
I feel like that one is
I
straight
feel like
from
this
the
is all
source.
self-reflection from
Yeah,
Rich.
I do too,
You know,
I
I mean, he's going through the mistakes he made on his car and trying to make light of it.
And, make sure that when you put your rod bearings in, make sure you put them in upside down.
Yeah, so it looks like the
And,
McDonald's sign.
the part where it actually has a little...
Ba 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 ba.
Rich is losing it.
Put that towards the bottom of the crank. Okay? Put it towards the
I
bottom.
bet you know more about
Put
crank
that
than I
opening
do.
down at the bottom. Don't worry if it doesn't fit in. It'll fit. All you gotta do is use a sledgehammer and tap that in there real hard.
Look, he is the longer this goes on, dude. Look at his facial expression. He's getting more and more and more just
Look at it
pissed.
right now, yeah. And he's got to think about
Don't
this
fix your
shit.
bearings.
I mean, he probably wrote a script.
He's
probably got that shit up on the TV, keeps looking up and reading
upside down too. Put them back in. You want to make sure you get the car done right, folks. I don't want you to mess up. So I'm telling you all of
You weren't worried about that, was you, Rich?
Hope it was helpful.
Hell yeah. You gave us content. That was fucking awesome.
That
Thank
was
you, Rich.
fucking great.
Thanks, buddy.
Winning. All right, we're gonna move some berry stuff. Rich did a part 2. I'm not gonna cover it tonight because I want to do some berry cuts. I would gotta give them both some love.
I
So,
haven't seen the part 2. I
So-
heard some of this earlier.
so with that being said, if you guys would like to see it, Rich, if he deletes these like he deletes most of his fucking videos, I have them saved. We can redo them if you'd like. So let us know in the comments. You guys want to see
Tell us what
part
you
2 of
would
this?
like. This is like
Winning.
fucking Burger King. You rule here, folks. Have it
Unless
your
you're
way.
Rich, then he's losing it.
Rich, you rule here too, buddy. You are the funniest, ugliest, fattest, probably. You and Barry, you put you and Barry in a room. You know what? Prison system ought to hire you and Barry, dude, to stand in the gas chamber and save all that money on gas. You motherfuckers put people to sleep quick. I bet you and Barry could clear a room in about 3 seconds. I guarantee you, if you get on an elevator with this motherfucker, you're like, damn, man, why is the elevator so slow? Come on, brother. Because I promise he either reeks of cheap cologne and armpits or just sweat and fucking nutsack cheese. I mean, I guarantee it, dude. I guarantee it, dude. Barry the same way, dude. I bet you motherfuckers smell party. You be getting that fucking dollar store cologne and just soaking yourself in it. That's no... You don't take a bath in cologne, you take a bath in water. And these dudes, I promise, because you rich for sure, because you got all that fake bling and shit, you know what I mean? Talking about, I'm homeless, I ain't got no money like that, but I spent me $2,000 on some gold chains. Because you got to spoil yourself. You don't gotta have a roof over your head and food in your belly, but you gotta have some gold. You gotta spoil yourself. Oh man, you're a fucking winner, buddy. Let me tell you what.